Prince Harry at number 3. All right, we got 2 and 1 left. Who's gonna be number 2? Diddy made it at number 2. Wow, who's number 1? Who's number 1?
You just can't keep faking it. It's too hard.
They're ridiculous.
No.
She never stops whining.
No.
You're complaining about your hard life, and you're so privileged. It's just so weird.
It's ridiculous.
You can't really see what is happening as a family unit. This photo represents the state of this couple's marriage and their life in general.
He's a duplicitous, self-centered, vile, disloyal hypocrite.
She is an absolute user of the media. She uses every conceivable way to try and play the victim and score points.
Apparently, she's not caring about what people think. Oh, yeah, right. I can't even. These two, Meghan and Harry, are the worst.
Do you think your sister, Meghan Markle, has ruined Prince Harry?
The answer is yes.
Retire, bitch!
Opposite. I mean, that's just another one of the malarkey stories she sold to the royal family for sympathy.
And it seems like that lady is a temptress. She's a siren. She's lured him into the rocks.
The hypocrisy is beyond anything I've ever seen.
And in the tape, she's performing a sex act on him that's unbelievable.
She wants all of the privileges that go along with an identity, but she doesn't want any of the responsibility. She doesn't want to do any of the work. She wants the tiara. She doesn't want the public service.
You look lovely. Thank you, so do you.
Before we get into it,
I just can't stand her. I just think she's such a phony.
Nasty, and says he feels sorry for Prince Harry because his wife is a lot to deal with.
And then the wife convinces you to leave the royal family. Like, I'm out. I don't need you guys. Which is crazy, because don't you just get free money?
There was a sex tape about her.
And I saw it.
She's so full of shit.
today's Suits actress Meghan Markle married some unemployed dude who still lives with his grandma.
It is the cringiest, most uncomfortable piece of tape I've seen in a long time.
You might want to try the combo Andrew, Island, and Epstein.
And this is sweet. Meghan Markle said she has a finger they can use if they need it.
Something strange happened this year. Something nobody expected, not even the people who dislike her the most. Because in 2025, out of every celebrity on the planet, the actors, the singers, the scammers, the criminals, the reality stars, the ones who got arrested, the ones who should have been arrested, the person who ended up as the most disliked celebrity of the year was Meghan Markle.
Who is that? It's Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex.
And it wasn't even close. Her name didn't land at the top of the list. It launched itself there, above Diddy, above Amber Heard, above the Kardashians, above people with actual criminal charges.
She ranked above the likes of Bill Cosby and Sean Diddy Combs.
Meghan somehow managed to trigger an entire year of internet exhaustion, so intense that even Hollywood insiders whispered, she really needs to stop. This is getting embarrassing. It wasn't one moment, it was everything. A full year where every attempt to rebrand, rebuild, or rise again exploded in her face.
She is more than twice the most disliked celebrity in the world. More than twice the level of dislike than P. Diddy.
A year where every photo shoot, every interview, every PR move, every inspirational quote, every product launch, every carefully staged camera moment backfired harder than the one before it.
Don't think this was the kind of list that Meghan was hoping she was gonna make in her new rebrand, relaunch.
And people didn't just notice, they got tired. This wasn't normal criticism. This wasn't tabloids doing tabloid things. Something shifted. People who used to support her started rolling their eyes. People who didn't care about her started paying attention for all the wrong reasons. And people who were already skeptical felt vindicated.
You are a Duchess of the UK, and you can't even get a deal with people that are investing in businesses with a title. You can't get that. It's hopeless.
Because 2025 became the year Meghan Markle tried to reinvent herself again and accidentally revealed exactly why so many people don't believe her anymore.
Doesn't this finally show that if you're a brand, it's toxic to invest? I mean, no brand is going to invest at the moment.
Now, let's break down how this happened. The scandals, the contradictions, the viral disasters, the Kardashian embarrassment, the pregnancy performance, the Harper's Bazaar mess, and the interview that cracked her own timeline in half. This is the story of how Meghan Markle didn't just lose the public, she pushed them away.
Just you wait. It's going to be a massive bomb.
2025 was supposed to be Meghan Markle's comeback year. A clean slate, a glamorous reintroduction to Hollywood, a carefully crafted rebirth moment. Instead, it became the year everything collapsed at once.
This woman looks to me like a malignant narcissist. This woman has zero self-awareness.
It started quietly, little moments, small missteps, until suddenly the internet was drowning in clips, photos, and scandals, all orbiting around the same person. And every time Meghan tried to push a new version of herself into the world pushed back twice as hard.
That's why a lot of these celebrities that start these things, they can't keep up. You know, like the Meghan Markle.
Then came the interview with Jamie. What should have been a simple conversation somehow made everything worse because Meghan's stories shifted again. Her timelines blurred. Details contradicted earlier interviews. Old statements didn't line up with new ones.
But you're the same.
You're the same.
Like, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Like, guys, you don't got to do this. Please, I'm begging you to stop.
And the internet, which never forgets anything, immediately noticed. People began stitching clips side by side, comparing dates, ages, locations, events.
There isn't a tear in sight. It's an actor's trick.
Now make yourself cry. Oh, I can do that so well. Oh my God, it's crazy.
And the contradictions hit harder than she expected. It didn't look like a mistake. It looked like rewriting, reframing, rebranding her own past in real time.
I knew her a bit before she met Harry. She was nothing like that. She didn't speak like that. Her mannerisms weren't like that. This is all fake.
And right after that, Meghan unknowingly poured gasoline on the fire. A pregnancy video, dramatic, theatrical, and painfully overproduced, appears online. Meghan dancing, spinning, cradling her stomach like she was auditioning for a role rather than showing a real moment of joy.
2 months, 3 months, hit the baby mama when I step into the house.
She's
yeah, I'm pregnant,
supposedly 9 months pregnant in the hospital room, dancing with a big belly. Harry's there too. She's kind of twerking. She's gonna twerk. Here comes Harry. She spreads her legs. She hikes her dress. Circles her genitals. And for her to need to make it into an ego trip, which she's clearly doing. Look at me dancing. I'm still fun and I'm sexy. And I have this great marriage. And here's Harry being like a normal guy is disrespectful, I think, to the moment, to the child, and truly to like the sanctity of what goes on for any humans who are actually in that situation. She's drunk on her own ego.
It didn't feel natural. It didn't feel intimate. It felt like a commercial for motherhood. And viewers reacted instantly, calling it staged, performative, attention hungry.
It is uncomfortable. I don't think, because she's done this before for photos, I don't think that is a real baby bump. I think
Way too big. It's way too big.
and sort of too low as well.
Yeah, it's like a metre out there. I mean, it looks the wrong shape.
Where's she going to give birth there? Through her knees or something? I mean, that is too low.
Even people who normally defend her asked, why does everything she does look like a scene from a show? The clip was supposed to warm hearts. Instead, it made people cringe.
Your voice is driving me crazy and I'm about to jump over there and put my fists down your throat.
But even that wasn't the only thing collapsing around her. Her big Netflix project, the one billed as her creative breakthrough, her first true Hollywood stamp, quietly stumbled into disappointment.
She is doing a cooking show on Netflix. I only watched 5 seconds of it and I thought she was going to cut her wrist by trying to zest a lemon. This girl has never been in the kitchen in her life.
Viewers didn't connect with it. Critics called it unoriginal. Audiences called it boring, overly curated, predictable. It didn't trend. It didn't take off. And it didn't rebuild her image like her team hoped.
I just think she's crying for sympathy, playing the victim when there's nothing to be a victim about. And there's also no sympathy to be granted for this lifestyle that she's chosen to live.
Instead, it became another reminder that Meghan's creative vision wasn't landing with the public. Another expensive attempt to prove she belonged in the entertainment world. That fell flat on impact.
I love your Luke.
Sorry, what's that?
Your Luke. You look amazing. Your Luke.
My Luke. My Luke.
My look.
She likes my look.
The next wave hit harder, the Kardashian incident. A moment so small on the surface, yet so humiliating it spread like fire.
Kris Jenner's post on Instagram immediately after the party. I think there are the maximum of 20 pictures in this slideshow. She made the mix, not one glimpse of the royal couple. Because the reality is that in Hollywood, they're not royalty anymore. They're on the D list. So they may get the invite, but they're not on the Snoop Dogg or Oprah Winfrey list.
Meghan attends Kris Jenner's party, smiles for photos with the family, stands beside Kim, Khloe, and Kris. The kind of moment most celebrities would cherish. And then, the next morning, something bizarre happens. The photos disappear. Not cropped, not edited, deleted. Wiped clean from the Kardashian world, like she was never there.
Kim Kardashian deleted her photo with Meghan Markle. Kim K still has that X tape out online, but Meghan Markle was the line.
And that silence from Kris Jenner, that silence was louder than any comment. The internet filled the vacuum with speculation. Did Meghan make the party about herself? Did the Kardashians feel used? Did they simply not want her image mixed with theirs? No one knew.
The world of celebrity PR, silence and omission can be just as calculated as a post, and the silence from Kris Jenner speaks volumes.
And because no one knew, the theories exploded. Meghan wasn't just excluded, she was erased.
And she is beaming. She is beaming like this is the biggest moment of her life.
But none of that compared to what came next, the Harper's Bazaar cover.
Apparently, Meghan Markle is now on the cover of Harper's Bazaar. Okay, she's on the cover of Harper's Bazaar.
This was her big reset, the return, the polished, dramatic, cinematic re-debut of Meghan Markle.
Meghan Markle sold her soul to the devil to get a cover, not on Vogue, which is the one that she wanted, but on Harper's Bazaar. Oh, bizarre.
And yet, the moment the photos dropped, the internet froze. People weren't inspired. They were confused. Meghan didn't look powerful. She didn't look fresh. She looked haunted. The lighting was eerie. The expressions were stiff. And the comparisons to Princess Diana began immediately. Not respectful comparisons, mocking ones.
I don't know how any woman could see a young girl and not see herself in her, especially at that age, Meghan tells me later. Once again, Meghan Markle makes everything about herself.
Diana cosplay, people said. She wants to be royal more outside the palace than she ever did inside it. And the article itself didn't help. The dramatic language, the over-the-top praise, the butler addressing her as the Duchess of Sussex, it all felt like Meghan trying to live in two worlds at once. The royal world she walked away from, and the Hollywood world she can't seem to conquer.
Entire bizarre article because it was bizarre, and honestly, Meghan Markle is just, let me think about it, Delulu with the capital D.
And just when it felt like the storm might calm down, the old yacht controversy resurfaced. Not because there was new evidence, not because something changed, but because the internet simply started looking back at everything Meghan ever said or did.
Wasn't there some speculation that she was on Epstein's yacht at one point in time? There was like photos with her and Prince Andrew way back in the day when she was like in her early 20s. Wow.
When someone becomes the most disliked celebrity in the world, people start digging. They revisit the past. They look for patterns. And whether fair or not, Meghan's past became a meme again.
It suggested that the then Meghan Markle likely spent time with Prince Andrew and Jeffrey Epstein before she even met Prince Harry.
Once people start doubting your image, old stories don't disappear. They return stronger. Even her business efforts failed to save her. As ever, the brand that was supposed to be her big entrepreneurial move got mocked, returned, criticized, and dragged into trademark problems.
You know, Meghan's podcast has fallen off the charts. She's been criticized for the content. There are rumors that her As Ever launch wasn't as successful as she considered it. Critically, With Love Meghan was not a success.
People posted videos of damaged products. Others accused the brand of ripping off a European coat of arms. And the worst part, nothing looked authentic. It all felt like curated Montecito perfection, and nobody wanted it. By the end of the year, Meghan didn't just have controversies. She had a pattern the public no longer trusted, no longer believed, and no longer tolerated. And that's how she landed at #1. Not through scandal, but through exhaustion.
Girl past, set to be exposed in a new documentary that's finally going to air next month. Let's put it this way, I smell a scared little...
Prince Harry didn't explode onto the most disliked rankings the way Meghan did. He didn't have a viral video. He didn't have a deleted Kardashian moment. He didn't pose for a disastrous cover shoot or fumble a dramatic interview. His fall was quieter and, in a way, sadder.
You're in America now, and we don't give a shit about you. You're not our prince. You'll never be king. We hate your wife. Stay at home in your $29 million mansion, all right?
Because in 2025, Harry stopped feeling like a man making his own decisions. He started feeling like a passenger in someone else's story. There was a time when the world cared about Harry, really cared. He was the human one, the funny one, the rebellious one, the one who wanted a real life outside the palace walls. People genuinely wished him well. But that version of Harry, the one who spoke from the heart and didn't take himself too seriously, disappeared somewhere along the way.
Harry's digging an even bigger hole for himself here.
Well, I think he's dug so deep now, he'll strike water any day now.
And every time Meghan's image took a hit, Harry absorbed a piece of the impact. It didn't happen suddenly. It happened slowly, like watching a light fade. Every interview they did together blurred his identity more. He stopped being a prince with a personality and became Meghan's husband, the background character, the supporting role in a Hollywood script he didn't write.
They are so déclassé and tacky, these two.
When Meghan contradicted herself, people blamed him for enabling it. When Meghan launched a new project, people saw him standing behind her, smiling politely, like a man trying to keep the peace. And then there was the hypocrisy problem, the one thing Harry could never fully escape.
Harry's Sussex? I have no idea. And no, Meghan, no one knew that. Like, why are you correcting?
The world didn't forget the speeches about privacy, followed by Netflix documentaries, book deals, podcasts, and endless interviews. People felt misled. They felt manipulated. They felt like he wanted to cash out without admitting he was cashing out. That contradiction, more than anything, made the public turn away. What sealed his fate was how exhausted people became with the constant drama.
Zoom in here and it says, with the compliments of Her Royal Highness, the Duchess of Sussex. That is a title that was stripped from her when she and Harry made their whole racism debacle and left the UK, left their royal duties, and moved to the US to bug all of us. She's using it in private with her friends. That's even weirder than if they were still trying to milk the titles in public. That is just like all the confirmation that I need that this woman is just obsessed with being a royal, that is all this was all about. That she's angry that she screwed the pooch by claiming racism and basically getting kicked out of the family. She just can't give up the HRH titles that quickly. Like, this is literally what she has always wanted.
Every time Meghan reappeared with a new scandal, Harry became part of the fallout. Not because he did something wrong, but because he stood beside her in every moment, supporting every choice, defending every misstep. He disappeared inside her world, and the public stopped seeing him as his own person. By 2025, Harry wasn't disliked for who he is. He was disliked for who he became. A man who walked away from one royal system, only to get trapped in another.
But I have zero sympathy for him. The fact that he is putting his father through this in the final years of his life. And Meghan, there are members of the royal family who believe that Harry's behavior hastened the death of the late Queen Elizabeth II.
I believe that too. That's what I say. I say those two killed the Queen.
You would think that in a year like this one, Meghan wouldn't even come close to the top spot. You would think she'd be outranked by people with real scandals, actual crimes, public meltdowns, and headlines that look like they came straight from a courtroom. And yet, she still beat them all. That's the part that stunned even her critics. How does someone with no arrests, no trials, no police raids, no criminal charges become more disliked than the celebrities who actually destroyed their own careers? That's where the story gets even more interesting.
Could it be a mystery for the ages?
Because 2025 wasn't just Meghan's bad year. It was a bad year for a lot of celebrities. Hollywood was drowning in scandals. Some dark, some tragic, some unbelievable. But those scandals came with a strange twist. They were shocking, yet predictable. People expected those celebrities to mess up. They weren't surprised when the bad news broke. They weren't emotionally invested. They didn't feel betrayed. But Meghan, she operated in a completely different zone.
Meghan Markle, they've just learned the hardest of lessons, which is, if you start a brawl, do not be surprised if you end up getting punched twice as hard. In fact, South Park has just knocked them out.
Her fall wasn't shocking because of what she did. It was shocking because of who people thought she was supposed to be. And that difference is everything. And as if the internet wasn't hard enough on her, South Park turned her missteps into weekly entertainment. They mocked her Harper's Bazaar cover before the ink was even dry. They turned her pregnancy dancing video into a punchline. They roasted her Paris Fashion Week appearance, her interviews, her photo ops. Every awkward moment, every dramatic pose, every cringeworthy clip that hit the internet became fuel for their writers.
Oh, God damn it, now the prince is playing polo on the lot!
We are here because privacy is a basic human right. How many more princes and his wives have to live in this nightmare?
And the brutal part? Millions of people agreed with every joke. It wasn't just comedy anymore. It was commentary. While the rest of Hollywood was busy being chaotic in obvious ways, Meghan was losing the one thing that matters most in the public eye: trust. Not because she committed a crime, but because every time she appeared, something felt off. Too curated, too emotional, too contradictory, too self-important, too carefully crafted to fit whatever narrative she needed that week.
They nailed it. They nailed it.
People didn't feel like they were watching a celebrity living her life. They felt like they were watching a character trying to convince the world she's something she isn't. Again, that emotional disconnect is why she rose above everyone else on the list. Not because her controversies were the worst, but because her image couldn't carry any more weight. It cracked under the pressure of its own performance.
And look, South Park is known for satire and for mocking people. No one is safe. This isn't the first time they've done an episode on the royal family, but this particular episode was quite scathing and the grains of truth that it held. And I'm not sure how the Sussexes are taking it. Obviously, it is a cartoon.
And once the cracks showed, shows like South Park simply highlighted them for the world to laugh at. And in 2025, authenticity, not perfection, is what people pay attention to. When they feel someone is real, they forgive almost anything. But when they feel someone is performing, they forgive nothing. That's why Meghan didn't just land at #1. She stayed there, with no real competition.
Who will sell anything about their privacy? And yet they'll fight privacy battle after privacy battle.
The truth is, Meghan didn't become the most disliked celebrity of 2025 because of one scandal, one mistake, or one bad moment online. The real reason is much bigger and much simpler. People didn't get angry at her. They got exhausted by her, exhausted by the story, exhausted by the contradictions, exhausted by the constant reinvention of a woman who refuses to admit she's reinventing anything.
What do Americans really think of Harry and Meghan? We despise them.
For years, Meghan built a narrative around herself, the misunderstood outsider, the silenced woman finally finding her voice, the victim of an institution so cold and cruel it nearly broke her. And for a while, people believed her. They felt empathy. They offered support. Millions truly wanted her to win. But something changed, slowly, subtly, and then all at once.
What did she call them? Disaster opportunists, which is exactly right.
The story stopped matching the reality. People started noticing the contradictions, the carefully staged moments dressed up as authentic ones, the dramatic interviews repeating the same themes without ever taking responsibility, the emotional speeches about privacy delivered while cameras rolled and Netflix crews followed, the inspirational messaging that felt more like branding than truth.
These two never stop going on global media to trash the royal family and the monarchy. And each time they do it, they chip away at the mystique and the magic and the popularity. And that's why I despise them for what they're doing.
And beneath it all, a sense that every move, every word, every gesture existed for one purpose: to elevate Meghan. Once that realization settled in, the magic disappeared. Not because of hatred, because of repetition.
You're lying, Meghan Markle.
And when the magic disappears, trust is the next thing to go. And that's when the conversation shifted from, why is Meghan like this, to something much harsher. Why are they still using royal titles? People watched years of interviews where Meghan attacked the monarchy, yet continued using the titles she claimed to reject. They saw Harry criticize the institution that shaped him, while still cashing in on the prestige it gave him.
Zoom in here and it says, with the compliments of Her Royal Highness.
But they can't make money off the royal family.
It looked like wanting the benefits without the responsibilities, the status without the service, the leverage without the loyalty. And in 2025, that hypocrisy finally hit its breaking point.
There are growing calls to strip Harry and Meghan of their royal titles. The New York Post is reporting that locals in the UK say enough is enough, especially after Prince Harry's disastrous BBC interview, which aired hours after he lost his appeal for taxpayer-funded.
When Meghan posed on the Harper's Bazaar cover, introduced again as the Duchess of Sussex, critics exploded. If she truly wanted to be independent, why cling to a title that belongs to a system she claims harmed her? And if Harry truly wanted a life outside the institution, why keep a title that ties him to it forever? To many people, it looked like the couple abandoned the monarchy, but kept its benefits.
They won't let me call myself Her Royal Highness anymore, but I'm gonna put it all over my stationery and on the gifts that I give to my friends.
They walked away from the duty, not the perks. That's why old controversies resurfaced. That's why the yacht rumors came back. That's why timelines were re-examined, interviews dissected, every smile questioned. Once the public decides someone is playing both sides, every detail becomes evidence. People didn't turn on Meghan because she made mistakes. They turned on her because the mistakes started to look intentional, calculated, performed. And in that gap between message and reality, something snapped. Not just trust, respect. That's why she became the most disliked celebrity of 2025. And that's why more people than ever now now believes she and Harry shouldn't hold royal titles at all. Not out of cruelty, out of clarity, because the story no longer matches the crown they still wear.
Your titles are gone. You're going to be Meghan Mountbatten Windsor. Your husband's going to be Harry Mountbatten Windsor. And all your threats of legal action, I think, is something that William will quite rightly stare down. But let me take you through.
What makes this entire story even more fascinating is that Meghan's fall isn't final. People talk about her like she's disappeared, but she hasn't. She's still out there, still launching projects, still doing interviews, still showing up at Hollywood parties, still trying to rebuild a brand that keeps slipping through her fingers. And that means one thing. This story is nowhere close to being over, because if there's one thing Meghan Markle has proven over the years, it's that she never stops trying. No matter how bad the headlines get, no matter how much backlash she faces, no matter how loudly the public says, we're done.
Now she's stuck because she was an actress who became a real princess, who wants to be an actress again, but has to continue to pretend to be a real princess. The job of a royal is in many ways to be boring. The job of an actress is to get eyeballs. You can't do both at once, and she's trying to split the baby. She's a classic example of the modern woman, which is she wants to have it all.
She always comes back with a new angle, a new message, a new emotional chapter, a new way of explaining why this time things will be different. And maybe they will be. Or maybe 2025 is only the beginning of a much bigger shift. A moment where Hollywood, the public, and even Meghan herself are forced to face the consequences of a story that no longer matches the audience's expectations.
They kind of up their whole thing, went way too hard on we're victims, and they assessed the mood of their generation and America correctly in that we are lovers of victimhood.
Yeah.
But America did finally find a way to say, you know what, we love victims, but you two, we've just had a little too much of it.
Because love or hate her, Meghan is still one of the most talked about figures in the world. People click, people watch, people react. That's why she's #1 on the list. Not because she disappeared, but because she refuses to. And that's why this isn't just a story about controversy. It's a story about visibility, about the price of reinvention, about what happens when the world stops believing the script, but the star keeps performing anyway.
Quits. Everybody says she's a bully. She's very nasty. Not only is she incredibly controlling, but she's a about it to everybody who works for her when things inevitably start spiraling.
So tell me in the comments, do you think Meghan can turn this around? Or is this the point of no return? If you want more deep dives into the biggest celebrity collapses, scandals, royal drama, and Hollywood chaos, make sure you're subscribed, because this story, it's just getting started.